to another episode of Pardon the Distraction. I'm one of your hosts, DJBluePDX, here with the Lost Drake. And yeah, that's as much as we've got right now.
Yeah, we're pretty much... we don't know.
We're going to have a 15-minute meeting ahead of recording today.
2 hours.
And that ended up being a 2-hour plus conversation.
Yeah.
And then realized, fuck, we haven't recorded anything.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Jesus Lord.
Morning. Yeah. Afternoon, morning, night, dinner.
Good Lord.
Whatever you're tuning in, wherever you're at, no matter where you're at in the world, we appreciate you. And first off and foremost, I want to say thank you to everybody in the community here at PardontheD. We've been crushing it. It's been awesome. We've been having a lot of fun with it. And you know, I feel like we say this every time, like we're trying to keep up with content. Life has just been crazy. There's been a lot of things going on in the world that are good and bad. A lot of
things happening in the world.
So we just been kind of taking it. Me personally, we had somebody pass away in our family, so I was busy 2 weeks ago, kind of holding down the fort while my wife was gone, and then this week has just been chaos. It's been kind of crazy, so we've been just kind of like trying to catch up. Nay's catching up on sleep, and a lot of big announcements though across the board over on my side. But yeah, what have you been up to?
Let's see. Well, I've gotten through my second playthrough of Dying Light 2, which has been a lot of fun. And because there's so many different endings, there's so many different things you can try.
You killed her. You killed her.
Yeah. Now that I know
you killed her. You didn't go to the underwater area. You killed her.
Oh yeah. No, I got to the underwater area. I got that all drained, and it's boring. I was like, wait, I drained this whole area for nothing, and there was no other, significant destruction anywhere else in the city. I thought, well, why am I doing this? This seems dumb. I can just swim down there and it's fine.
I tuned in at the very last, right at the end when she was laying down. I'm like, Jesus, it looks like a chick version of you. What did you do to yourself?
Oh God, yeah, no, she was well,
she was beat up. She had no hair.
I already discovered that she's not my real sister, so I just, at that point, I know my character cared. I didn't give a shit. I was like, nah, we're out.
Looked like you shaved her at the end. I was like, what did you do?
No, that's the sister who was sick. That's not Lawan.
That's
not Lawan. That's the quote unquote sister, but it's not. She's just another,
I was so confused.
Experiment gone wrong.
That game, by the way, too, I did play that, by the way.
DL2?
I did play it. Yeah, I played it because they had that new accessibility feature for Vertigo people. And
did it work?
Yeah, I could actually play it. Yeah.
Lots of fun, so we get to play that shit together because it's hilarious, and I got lots of weapons for you.
It's crossplay, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Wait.
Crossplay between PC and Xbox? Mm-hmm.
If you're signed into your Epic Games account and we're friends on Epic, that's how you do it.
Well, we are, so yes.
So yeah. So let's see, other things. Got back on the DJ train. We had a little bit of a mix-up. Not a mix-up. So I was supposed to be DJing the Pride closing party for Logitech on their channel, and then all of a sudden the Supreme Court decided to shit the bed, and so that whole weekend everything kind of just got changed. So I'm going to come back and take over their channel in the middle of August.
Yeah,
and it's going to be an actually longer slot. It's going to be for World Humanitarian Day, I believe, is what we're kind of shooting for right then and there. Yeah. And so I'll make sure we get a lot of announcements and push a lot of promos out for that. I've been DJing, and for those of you who don't know, I actually DJ on my channel. On Fridays, it's house music. Saturdays is dance music. And those start right around 6 p.m. Pacific. And then on Sundays, we start at 12 noon with the Downtempo Lounge. We cover everything from beach house to acoustics. I play a lot of different genres, so it's been a lot of fun. We've been getting some decent viewership. It's not mixer level yet, but it's getting there. And I've been really fascinated by the amount of people who've been coming by the stream. We had one of the voice actors from Dying Light 2 come in.
Nice.
And got to meet him. Plus, in other news, I got picked up for 3 new voice roles in a video game that's all under NDA, but I can't say I've been picked up for the roles. This is a paid gig.
Nice.
And I'm excited. In fact, after we record today, that's my next meeting. But there's that. And then I'm addressing a new sponsor, or we're in the process of our contract negotiations and things. And I'm so excited to be able to announce that. And at the same time, I'm also saddened to announce the departure of a partner program.
Oh.
Aver Media has ended their partner program across the board.
Wow.
Don't know what happened. We just know that there was a reorganization, and all of a sudden, everybody who was in that program, from a staff side, is no longer with the company. and they are shutting it down. So yesterday was my last stream as an AverMedia partner, and it
Oh,
sucks
man.
because I really, I loved the fact that, and I still can say this, I love the fact that I've never had to go and pitch myself
Yeah.
for a partnership or a sponsorship. These companies have always come to me,
Yeah.
and which is great. However, I really love AverMedia's products, and I've worn that badge with pride,
Yeah.
and it's
It's been up on your banners
I
forever.
want to keep my logos. I want to
Yeah.
keep AverMedia partner in there, but unfortunately, because the program's no longer there, I'm kind of not allowed to. So that's a thing.
Yeah.
We also did. Oh yeah, can we tell them what we did today? Earlier?
Sure.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Sure.
So we're getting picked up. We're being handled by we're being distributed through. Yeah. Okay. Distributed through Anchor.fm.
Yep.
And so today I recorded my first voiceover commercial for them.
Yep.
So that was really fun. Getting back into the voiceovers. My voice is finally back. That's the other reason why we didn't record, because I was sick and had no voice.
Yep. And you guys will hear that ad to play probably in the middle of a lot of the podcasts you guys are listening to, no matter if it's on Amazon or in our podcast on Anchor or wherever it may be. But we did take that recorded segment, and maybe we'll even make something more out of it and post it up other places. That way we can have like a spot for you guys to kind of learn about how to make your own podcast and be able to do stuff like this. Because here's the thing, podcasts, they're a dime a dozen. Let's be real. Like, there's a million podcasts out there. Everybody's talking about some topic or the latest topics or whatever the case may be. The one thing that I love about our podcast is that we have been no filter. We have been no hold back, no holds barred, bringing on people, just voicing their opinions and being able to be themselves with no worry of being restrained. And just being real, because a lot of people put on a face, a lot of people put on this facade when they get on a camera. And for anybody who's met either one of us, we are no different in person. If anything, we're even more unfiltered when we're in person. But it's just it's one of those things.
A little bit.
Yeah, just a little. But yeah, no, it's just really, it's one of those things where we're really trying to do something different than everybody else. And it's very hard to say that in this industry, because like a lot of people are like, oh, you're just copying this person, or you're just copying this person. But ultimately, like, we love video games. We love the industry. If we didn't, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be making these podcasts. We wouldn't be playing games. We would just be, just some bunch of schmucks sitting around twiddling our thumbs, not doing shit, or working a 9-to-5 job, which a lot of people, have to do. And we are very fortunate and happy that we don't have to do that. We work a 24/7 job. It's called content creation. And a lot of people think that we have it easy, and when we go live, that's the only time we work. But we're literally recording, doing stuff, working. And on that note, one
other thing.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go.
That was the other thing I've been doing, is playing a lot of Rainbow Six Siege on my, not just on stream, but off stream. I've actually been really getting back into the game, getting much better at it. And it's funny how much better I perform when I'm not.
That's, dude, we were talking about that the other day. How better you do when you don't play on stream, dude. Well, I think it's because we have too many distractions. We're ADHD.
Yeah. Well, and so last night was really fun. Last night I met up with, I got into a lobby. First game I was solo queuing, and ran into these three, and their gamer tags were Oregano, Red Hot, and this was DM me your feet pics. And so, we just laughed so hard. Feet pics recognized my voice from shoutcasting, and so then they just invited me to their party, and we ran a 4-stack. We ran a 5-stack for a while, and then Oregano left, and we started filling them with empty spots, which was hilarious. And we just had a blast. And it's been interesting. Actually, we were talking about the podcast last night, so hopefully they'll get a chance to hear this. If that's the if that happens, give me your feet pics. What's up, dude? And I'm looking forward to playing more Rainbow Six Siege with them. They're lots of fun. Lots of fun. So yeah, I've been finding my joy in gaming once again, especially focusing on what I'm good at when I'm good at it, and learning new skills and tactics. And it's interesting because I find myself saying so many different things that were said to me to new players who are still just learning the game, just figuring it out. And I know. Suddenly, the student becomes a teacher. It's weird.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not great at the game, but every now and then,
You know
I
what
pop
though?
off.
You know what though? But that's the thing about being a content creator too, is that people look up to us, whether, you know, and I said this before, is like you never know who's watching and who looks up to you, because, you know, we may look up to people, but there's always going to be people looking up to us, you know, and it's always a tiered level. Like there's always going to be that progressive staircase that everybody wants to get to the top, right? And whether you're on the top or you're the bottom, it doesn't matter. Content is all about what you love and what you have passion about. You know, if you're playing retro games or you're playing, you know, just the standard everyday like board games online, you're a D&D guy or girl or lady, whatever. It doesn't matter. The point of it,
Individual.
and it doesn't matter. But just in general, like that is, you know, that's your love and your passion, and don't ever lose that, you know, because a lot of people, you know, they try to watch other people. Don't play a game just because everybody else is playing, because what I have learned is, especially lately, I was this last week, which I have not felt this way since I was on Mixer. I was in the #1 spot on 5 different games.
Dude, that's great.
And
congratulations.
out of everybody on Twitch. And I have not been that way in a long time. And a lot of it comes down to a couple different things. One, which I'm very excited to announce here on the podcast because I haven't talked about it yet. I just got accepted in, and now I am a official Capcom creator.
That's so cool, dude.
Yeah, childhood dreams imagined. I'm like, I grew up with Ghosts and Goblins and, you know, Pac-Man and all these games that like everybody is like, you know, so many people base their builds off of these games. You know, if you think about it, like it's just crazy. Street Fighter, dude, I love fighting games. I loved Mortal Kombat. I love Street Fighter. I loved those games when I was growing up. And you got like big games now, like Monster Hunter, and you've got like all these games that are coming out. Resident Evil. Resident Evil's new series is starting, and I am part of the partner program, and I'm an actual official Capcom content creator,
which is so rad.
It's nuts. Like, who knows? Maybe like they're like, hey, dude, come out to the red carpet of the Resident Evil Netflix premiere. You know, it's such a small group of people, but the fact that I was accepted into it, just mind blown. And ever since that announcement, my numbers have been really good. Things have been awesome. People have been coming in, bunch of new friends, but we've been kind of jumping around. We've been playing some games that I haven't played in forever. Obviously Fall Guys came to Xbox. I never thought in a million years I'd ever play that game again, but
hilariously
funny. It's funny to play with friends. And also too, DJ, I don't know if you know this, if you get 30 people together, you can have your own private lobbies.
Oh, that's so cool.
So
we should definitely do that.
Yeah, dude, it would just be fun.
Robbie, that was I think it was the last, like Robbie Mellon and I played that on our stream last year.
Nice. Yeah, and he's been busy as hell. He's been
so busy.
He's been all over the place. But hopefully one day we'll get him on the show too. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like even like the stuff that's going on with like games right now, we have all these back catalog games that we're still trying to catch up on. I have so many back catalog games. So with the announcement of Capcom being a creator with them, and I was so ecstatic. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back and play a game that I never beat because just things were coming out and I was so busy and everything was crazy. I went back and I beat Devil May Cry, the newest one, Devil May Cry 5, and went through and we beat it in one night, sat down, and I've been on this journey of going through and beating all these back catalog games. So, and I'm also partnered with Square Enix too. So between the two, those are like my dream companies. Like I'm a big RPG guy. I love RPGs. So obviously, like I'm excited to work with anybody and everybody, but these two were just like dream come true. So, excuse me. But it's just really cool to be able to sit down and know that these guys back me up. I mean, they literally already gave me a code for the new Monster Hunter, and I've only been with them for, 3 days? And I was like, oh, this is awesome. You know, but the fact that they're so supportive, and I see all the other, content creators in their Discord, and they're just so nice. Like, everybody's so welcoming, which is really nice.
Yeah.
And then, I've been playing a lot of Naraka Blade Point, which
Okay.
has been a lot of fun. And I was actually number 10 in the entire world. In the entire world. But then I took 4 days.
Yeah.
I took 4 days off, and now I'm not even ranked anymore. So.
Oh no.
So yeah, you got to stay up with that. But you know what? Like, I was so mad, dude. I was like, all right, cool. I'm like maybe in the top 200. I can work my way back up. No, not even ranked anymore. I'm like, oh man. But just in general, I'm really trying to make sure that I get like these games beat. And there's just so many good backlog games that we still have to play. And with this month, and I know you're excited about it. I know we've all been kind of on edge about Halo lately, but it is exciting that the campaign is going to be trickling out here soon. It's already going to be coming up to beta soon. I'm actually excited to jump into the campaign.
I'm excited to be flighting. I'll be helping flight the game as an insider, so that'll be great for us to get a chance to do and look at it. Co-op campaign is such a core element of Halo. And also there's rumors now of different pieces of information coming out about Forge, which should be releasing later on this year. And hopefully it's, as always, until 343 announces it, I don't take anybody else's random words of, we have an insider who says, no,
Yeah.
Until 343 says it officially on the Halo account, it's not real. And yeah.
You know what's really funny is it's the world of leaks.
Oh yeah.
You remember when like a game would come out and you'd be shocked and surprised? Now, like, so many leaks are out and all over the place, and just like, man, it's one of those things where it's like you just want to be surprised, but so many people out there data mining and taking all the information and ruining it for people.
Yeah.
Like, Destiny is horrible about that. Like, there is a couple people where they data mine stuff and they're like, this is happening, this is the expansion, this is what's coming out, and these are the guns, and this is, and I'm like, ugh. Like, but most of the time they're right, and that's the worst part. That's the worst part. That literally we can't even get to a point where it's like, hey, I'm gonna be surprised. It's fresh and new, because everybody wants instant gratification now. Everybody wants to get that.
It's so ridiculous.
Yeah. So
it's very ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I think realistically, at the end of the day, you know, when it comes to video games, like, we have a lot of stuff that's going to be coming out at the end of this year. We know that summer is going to be a little bit of a drought. So that's why I've been kind of jumping into the back catalog games, and I'm sure all of you guys feel that way too. Like, right now, there isn't a lot of games that are like pumping that you're like, oh my God, I need. Wait, what? Is there a game I'm missing?
No, you're right. Right now, we're in a little bit of a stale moment, but there is something else that's been coming out that is now in their next wave of releases. I know, because mine will be here Thursday, and that by Thursday, that's the 7th. So if you're watching this after that, then I've already got it. And that is the Steam Deck.
Nice.
Valve Steam Deck is coming out.
Nice.
And I remember ordering it last year. I put my money down on it, and
September.
Of course it came at the worst time, because it's like I'm the most hard up for money right now. But it came out, and I went through and got it, because if all else fails, I'm gonna have to. I'll sell it if I have to go broke.
Yeah.
But I've wanted one for forever. Yeah. I got the 512 edition, so we've got a big hard drive on it. And one of the things, since we were talking about the zombie games, one of the games that is approved and designed to function with
Dying Light,
the new Steam Deck, is Dying Light 1.
Oh,
which
nice.
is an incredible game. Absolutely incredible.
So Dying Light 2 is not on it? Just 1 is?
Right now, 1 is on it. 2 is not on it yet.
Okay.
But yeah.
Is there a reason for that?
I think probably because of the size of the game. But also it may be because that Techland is working, like, now that Dying Light 1 is completed, they have no more updates for it, etc. Now they can take that whole package and port it in its full functionality to Steam. That means because you're on Steam Deck, they have to reassess and readjust how the menus are, how you see things visibly, because of course you're a much smaller screen. If you played a PC game on a little screen, like with the PSP, it was a tiny screen, and they had to bring things down to work within it. So with Dying Light 2 being, and it's still being pushed out as a live service game, not a live service game, but it is online.
Yeah.
I imagine that they just haven't got to that point yet.
Well, it's going to be like Dying Light 1. Dying Light 1 had like 14 freaking expansions. It was ridiculous.
Yeah,
had
and
so
now,
many.
well, now, and that's first of all, Dying Light 1's on sale right now in the Steam store, and if you get it, you're automatically upgraded to the Enhanced Edition, which is
Yeah.
all the DLCs,
All the weapons,
all of the
all
extra
everything.
weapon
Yeah.
stuff, and like I will go back and replay that game over and over and over again. It's grand.
You know that game and Dead Island. I love Dead
Oh yeah,
Island, and
well,
I can't.
isn't that
Dead
Island
Island
same
2 is
company?
supposed to be coming at the same
Yeah.
time, but nobody knows. Is it the same company?
I thought so. Made it wait. I mean, it feels so similar.
I don't know, but either way, I am dying. Dead Island was awesome, and I know Dead Island 2 is coming. But you know those zombie beat up games, you know, like Dead Rising and all these other games, like they were all like just beat up zombies. And
Yeah, it's also Techland.
it is.
But it's public. Yeah, it's Techland. I knew it was Tech because that was the Dead Island was the starter for Dying Light.
Dying Light. Yeah.
So Ben and Dead Island, I played the living daylights out of that game. Loved that game, especially because you had to be quiet and you're trying to sneak around.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you just couldn't beat the zombies in the very beginning. You had to be careful.
Yeah.
You had to be smart.
Yeah, and if you ran out of your weapons, you were screwed.
And there was no parkour in it.
Yeah.
So your sprinting was pretty there, but you also had cars and guns and things. So it originally came out on, it was like I think it was
Xbox.
2011 when it came out.
It was Xbox.
It was on Xbox
360.
360,
Yeah.
PlayStation 3. Yeah, 360 and PlayStation 3
Yeah, I
in
believe so.
11.
Yeah.
And it's again, wonderful game, absolutely amazing. If you haven't played it, you definitely should. It's fucking hilarious. But it is older now. Granted, I wonder if that game's also going to be on this Steam. Let me look that up. Verified games. Oh, geez, there's so many lists to go through here.
I know, right?
Let's go up to D for Dying Light. No, Dead Island. That's what I'm looking for. Dead Island. D-E. No, Dead Space 3, though. Well, at least, wait a minute. That's only list one. That's only list one.
I also have really good news for you, DJ. I just
Halo's
looked it up.
going to be available?
Well, no, I looked up the hardware functionality and also the available games. It says, luckily for Dying Light 2 fans from Moonlight on Stream Deck early adopters, the zombie-infested game appears to be playable on the Steam Deck, judging by gameplay videos and evidence around numerous platforms. But officially today, Steam officially agreed and announced that it will be Steam verified and on the games list on launch. So it's been available since launch. So you'll be able to play Dying Light 2 in bed, on the toilet, whatever you prefer.
Yeah, I'm gonna be able to traveling with it and all that, and that is
but if you play with it on
fun.
the toilet, please don't resell it.
Oh my god. No, but that now whenever
now with DJ Poo Particles.
DJ PDX. DJ Poo Poo.
Yeah, poo poo. It's the upsell, man. That's how you make the extra money. You know.
I played it on a poo poo.
That's how you end up on the OnlyFeeds channel.
Oh Jesus Christ.
Oh no, too much, not enough. Okay.
I don't know. So yeah, we got that coming out. Lots of games being adjusted. I mean, there's tons of lists. You can look all over the place. But I'm seeing everything from like Portal 2, Scarlet Nexus, Stardew Valley is obviously on there. You've got Super Hot, Jackbox Party Pack 5 through 8 are on there. Splinter Cell Chaos Theory is on there.
Big for me is the Final Fantasy games. All the Final Fantasy games are available on it, which is awesome because I'm an RPG guy and I love playing those type of games and being able to have those. And from what I've heard, the broad spectrum of games are starting to expand because now you can get a Windows 11 update for it now. A lot of things have changed since its launch. Like obviously, like when it came out, everybody's like early adopter. Oh my God, it doesn't have any games. But obviously, I think like anti-cheat and stuff like that. I think that a lot of those things are what are stopping a lot of the games from porting over. But
Life is Strange and Life is Strange 2 are also going to be on there. Mad Max, Lego Harry Potter 1 through 4.
Nice.
Humans Fall Flat, Hitman 1, Hitman 3. There are 2 different Metal Gear Solids that are already on there. Half-Life 2.
Nice.
Grid, God of War, Ghost Runner, Fable Anniversary Edition is going to be on there. Evil Within.
That'd be an awesome one to have.
Right? Five Nights at Freddy's is there. We got Dungeons and Dragons, Dark Alliance, Duke Nukem, Dishonored, and Dishonored Death of the Outsider are going to be on there, which I love the Dishonored games. They're so incredible.
Yep.
Death Stranding and Death Loop, right? Deathloop is going to be on there. Darksiders 2, Darksiders Genesis. I'm just rolling through Cuphead.
Yep.
Call of Juarez Gunslinger.
By the way,
That's
too,
a hot game.
you want to know something else too that I actually
Alien
found out about
Isolation.
the Steam Deck too is that there is it's easy plug and play because you can hook it up to a TV. Obviously, you already know that. But the cool thing is because it's HDMI. If you do not have the money to go out and buy a high-end gaming PC and this is able to play, you can actually Bluetooth connect an Xbox controller to it.
And it becomes a standalone gaming station for you.
Yep. So you can actually, you as a content creator, if you want to go out there and be like, hey, you know what, I only spend $600 and buy this thing instead of going and buying a $2,500 PC, you can do that. And from what I've heard,
it has KBM support.
Well, and from what I've heard too, with certain adjustments and you installing Windows on it, you can also play everything on the cloud, Xbox Cloud, through the system. So therefore, if it's on cloud, you can play it. There are some stipulations, obviously, like I said before, if it has like an anti-cheat built into it, or if there's any kind of things like that, it will not play, and you have the potential of losing your account if you try to play it. So just make sure that you read all the regulations, the rules, and the fine print, everything. Yeah, because we don't want anybody going out there and be like, well, Drake and DJ said I could play it on there. I don't know why you became a redneck, but you get what I'm saying.
Jesus.
Yeah, but you get what I'm saying is like it's one of those things where play at your own discretion. You know what I mean? Yeah. Everybody knows that. I mean, when it comes to any emulators or anything like that, just make sure you guys are doing it the appropriate way. And make sure you're following all the rules and the laws, and you don't do anything stupid, so you lose your stuff.
Oh, also, Phasmophobia is going to be on there.
Ooh, that would actually be kind of creepy to play that. Well, you know what though? Would it still be immersive though? Like, you know what I'm saying?
So, yes, and here's why. And I think I've told this story before. So back when I was going through a different stage of my life, and I was in between places. I used to play my PSP, which I'd plug it into my car.
I love my PSP,
and I loved that. So when my boyfriend at the time had a job for 5 seconds, that's a whole different story. That can't never work. And so I'm sitting in the dark on the street underneath, with a canopy of trees over the top of me and some sparse lighting. And so I'm in the dark with this plugged in, and I've got my PSP plugged into the car stereo. And so I've got surround sound, and I'm playing Silent Hill on the PSP. Fucking terrifying. And he knows what I'm doing because he can hear it outside of the car. He can hear the game because I've got the game turned up. I was like, yeah. No, he comes up, runs up, and goes, dat, 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 dat. I jumped. I swear to God, I screamed so loud. So yeah, immersive is great. You just gotta have the right environment. So if you play that thing in the dark, or with headphones on, you got really good headphones. Some good headphones.
I can definitely see that. That's one of those things where it's like, all right, well, because the PSP, like, and like games like Calypso Protocol, which is coming out soon, that game looks amazing, dude, and it is like a Dead Space. Like,
it's gonna be so rad.
Well, you know what's really crazy? I've been watching a lot of trailers, and I've actually seen this online. A lot of people who've actually seen the gameplay live in person said that it's kind of like God of War, and I'm like, what? Like that doesn't like it. In my head, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, if it's kind of like God of War, does that mean it's fast-paced action, like battling, instead of more slow-paced, like Dead Space? Because Dead Space is definitely creepy, and they're remaking that as well, which is also really cool. There's just so many games that are coming out at the end of this year and early next year is going to be the next generation war. I mean, I'm just going to say it right now. The people are going to be battling because, everybody's been getting on, the developers from Santa Monica that's doing God of War. Everybody's been on them. When are you going to announce information? When are you going to announce information? And it's like, dude, like everybody is so quick to like jump down devs' throats and be like, hey, when is this game coming? But if they come out unprepared or they're not done right, then they get even worse scrutiny. So it's like, I know people are excited, but just remember this, guys. If you guys are waiting for games, don't jump down the devs' throats. Create a loving, great place and the love for these people that make games that give us all these amazing moments. Because No person is perfect, people. They're run by people. We're all humans. Do not go out there and go attack your local dev just because it's something that you don't like.
Yeah.
Things slip through the cracks. Bugs happen. It's a lot of coding, a lot of time, a lot of development. So don't go out there attacking your local dev. And I can't emphasize this enough, especially in the world we're in right now. Because, and look, I know I wasn't going to say it, but I'm just going to say it. Fuck the Supreme Court. But just in general, there is a lot of stuff that is just not right now in the world in general. Yep. And I won't even say in the world, in the United States, there's a lot of stuff wrong in the world too. But like in the United States, we're in a troubled spot right now. And I live in Arizona, and it's a hot fucking mess right now. It's a hot mess. So I will just say right now, I would love for everybody to start going out there and spreading more positivity than negativity. Save your aggression and your negative feedback and all that stuff for stuff that actually needs to be addressed. Not you going online where the whole world's falling around us and you decide to go attack a dev that's trying to give people happiness. So that's where I'll leave that. I won't jump into that topic too much because it is a very sore subject for a lot of people, and especially for all the women out there. I'm just going to say this right now. It should always be your choice. And if anybody tells you otherwise, fuck them. Just saying. Everybody do your thing. Do your part.
I'm going to define it like this. I know we were hesitant to bring this up on the show because
it needs to be talked about, though.
Okay, so, and I'm going to put it like
DJ's
this.
Like, I don't know if we should talk about it, but we should talk about it. But it is important, and we do need to address it. Yes.
Here's the issue. Some people like or believe the pineapple belongs on pizza. Some people don't believe or think that pineapple belongs on pizza. Just because you don't think or like pineapple on pizza doesn't give you the right to prevent everyone else from having pineapple on pizza. If you don't like pineapple on pizza, don't get pineapple on pizza. It's that simple. Yep. It is that simple. Same with abortion. And I'm going to be honest, I did not serve this country to watch rights be dictated by a bunch of geriatric religious zealots. That's not the way it goes. There's a reason for separation of church and state. We served this country and fought. Both of us are vets. We served our time to protect the rights of people to have the freedom to worship on who they want. And it's not something. You're choosing a religion, okay? That's a choice that you make.
Yeah.
You follow your religion's rules, great. Mormons don't drink caffeine. Does that mean the rest of the world doesn't get to drink caffeine? No, it means they don't. Mm-hmm. If you feel like you don't believe in or want to or don't ever want an abortion, great, don't get one. But you don't have the right to tell other people how to live their life and what to do with their bodies.
Yep.
It's the same thing with gay marriage. Everybody was like, all the religious right was just coming unglued, like, gay is getting married, oh my God. If you don't believe or like gay marriage, then don't get gay married. And if you're straight, well, I'm pretty sure this situation is not going to come up, period.
Yep.
I've said this before.
Yep.
They always went to the far extreme of gays get married, they're going to be fucking on our front lawns in front of our children. No, that never happened.
Yeah.
Same thing with, it's a slippery slope, and it's a destructive one at that from a societal standpoint. And we need to be reinforcing this separation of church and state. This whole issue is problematic because if you're trying to prioritize the belief system or doctrine of one specific religion over the others by saying, oh, well, we were founded, we're a Christian-based nation. Actually, the whole reason we left and got out of Europe, the UK, the English, the British, okay, the reason we left there was because of religious oppression. Mm-hmm. We came here to freely explore different sects, different factions, different belief structures. There are multiple different religions, different divisions of religions in this country.
Yeah.
And there are just as many people who don't believe in religion or who were raised on religion like me and have since decided to see other people. But at no point does that give anybody with a religiously oriented motivation the right to force their religion onto everyone else. You want to talk about grooming? Let's start with the churches, because that's where it all begins. And I know that I'm going to catch some people wrong. I was raised Southern Baptist, okay? But my beliefs are my beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that I think there's as much proof that the Greek gods were a thing, just as Jesus, that's on me.
Yeah.
It ain't got shit to do with anybody else. Your religious choices ain't got shit to do with anybody else but you. That's your relationship with God. That's your relationship with your higher power. And that is between you and that higher power. It has nothing to do with anybody else. And I'm pretty sure that in the Bible, the 10 Commandments are solid across the board, which is what's amazing that people are forgetting. Love thy neighbor. Thou shalt not kill. I mean, there's some basic tenets to this that are not being followed by certain religious factions. And when everybody else who's not part of that extremism is like, well, we don't believe that, great. Then you know what? Get your fucking people in check.
You know, and this is the best way that I can put it. And
sorry, I didn't mean to get all intense about that.
But it's the truth though, man. I mean, honestly, here's the thing, right? It doesn't, this is the baseline, right? Every single country was founded on war, slavery, oppression, pillaging, and I hate to even say this word, but rape. A lot of countries were founded on that negativity and that destruction and that chaos, and no concern for anybody but the group or individual that was coming through that specific town. I mean, literally, my family, my heritage, we were Vikings, Norwegian, freaking Scots. All we did was fight and go through villages and take over villages and steal their food supply. But we're in a new time. We're in a new time. The world is in a very different place. Togetherness, and it doesn't fucking matter what anybody is doing as long as it's not hurting other people. And that's like the golden rule. It should be the fucking golden rule. I don't give a shit if DJ's gay. Who gives a fuck if he's gay? Who gives a fuck if he sleeps with 19 llamas? If it makes him happy and it doesn't hurt nobody, I don't give a shit. He doesn't sleep with llamas, but I'm just saying, like, I don't give a shit. Look, look. Oh my god! And you get free cheese.
Oh my god! God damn it!
And milk. But look, just watch out, they're spitters. But just in general, like, I'm just saying, like, it doesn't matter what you believe in, right? It doesn't matter. And then the number one thing too, that right now that I'm getting a lot of flack for is because I'm Republican, right? Oh, all the Republicans, they're evil now. Look, let me tell you something. Have you ever heard the vote for one of two greater evils? You ever heard that expression?
Yep.
Republicans are only as bad as the people that represent them, right? And the same goes for Democrats or liberals or conservatives or anybody else in the fucking world. It doesn't matter if the Queen of England becomes a douchebag.
Yeah.
Everybody in England is not a douchebag. And everybody is going to stand up for their rights, and they're going to stand up for what they believe in. Are they going to like the Queen? Are they going to like, you know, this liberal group? Are they going to like this conservative group? Are they going to like these Republicans? Yeah. I am the first one to admit that the Republican Party, as of late, has been... It has been bad. It has been very bad. There's been a lot of bad things. And I think that... our last president was great? No at all. And I think a lot of people too, when I even talk about this, they're like, oh, people that voted for Trump, They're the reason why we're in this situation. Well, guess what? If you look at what's going on with Hillary too, or the Clintons right now, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, if you look at it from either side, right? If you look at it from either side, if you vote, go ahead, chime in.
I want to. So as a registered Democrat, which is really interesting, I want to call it like I see it on that one. And I'm sorry that we're bringing this up, people, because a lot of people have very strong feelings about this.
Yep.
There is, and obviously not a fan of Trump.
No. I don't think
I know there's people who are, and I respect that. That's fine. But please don't think that for some reason it's going to be a battle. It's just not going to happen, because I don't think you can care to have a conversation about it. The responsibility behind there's some accountability that needs to be taken by both parties on that one, and the Democrats are just as guilty for why he got elected. There was so much infighting and so much back and forth, and so many people were like, well, I'm not voting for Hillary and I'm not voting for Trump, so I'm just not voting.
Yep.
Congratulations. You reap what you sow.
Yep.
That's what you get. And I think it's more important to look at, we've got this divisive decision. When you're looking at this, take away the partisan politics, take away the left and the right, take those away and look at the issue and the matter at hand. If the issue is something that comes down to a matter of personal belief, great. That is a personal issue and a personal matter. You have the choice of engaging or not engaging with that. If that personal matter affects, if your choice of that personal matter affects other people around you, then you need to put yourself in check. Take your ego out of the situation. Take the fact that you don't want to be wrong out of the situation, and consider that maybe there's more thought that needs to be put into this. Gun control. Guess what? 4th of July, and there's already been a shooting halfway between Michigan and halfway between the border of Wisconsin and Chicago. It's not in Chicago. It's a ways away from Chicago, but Chicago's the closest city. It's a foreign suburb. Still happened. 4th of July, a shooting.
Yep.
And people are they're so stuck on this. Hey, we've got the Second Amendment, blah, blah, blah. The Second Amendment was
made for muskets.
Was made for muskets at a time when there was still potential for us being invaded by the French. If the British came back, if the Spanish came, local militias. That's the reason. It wasn't to go to battle with the government. Number two, there is a difference between having a weapon to protect yourself and protect your home, or to explore shooting, if you really like, going to gun ranges, or hunting and collecting weapons of mass destruction, high capacity, fast firing ammunition, simply because you're afraid the government's going to come take your guns away, or somebody's going to come at you and tell you something that you don't want to hear. First of all, if you think that's going to keep you from having the government get involved, I don't think you understand how tanks work. Okay? And you really need to check that shit out.
Even on that note, DJ, it's like, even if you stockpile weapons, like I'm not gonna lie, I have a bunch of guns. I do.
I'm a gun owner. But
here's the thing, like, there are people on the East Coast that can't even purchase a gun for like 8 months, and it's like a BB gun, right? They can't even get that. But here's the thing, right? I do enjoy shooting a gun. I also served in the military. I was a marksman in the military.
A weapons specialist.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you got your oak cluster as well. So I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day, I don't care if people own guns. I really don't. I don't care if people own guns. The problem is, first off, extensive freaking background checks. And also,
I have a solve for that. By the way. We go through so much to get a license to drive, right? And and in our country, it's even easier than like Australia to get a license. But you have to get a license. Once you get your license, you have to have insurance on your license and on your car. Okay?
Yeah.
And in Oregon, if you have a driver's license at all, even if you don't own a car, you have to have insurance to cover anything that you may drive, right? Because you have the potential to cause personal injury or property damage. Okay. So that's what that's for. With that concept in mind, we've got more people dying from guns than we do from car accidents. And we go through all of that with cars, including the manufacturers being held accountable for potential defects, etc. There is absolutely no reason why we can't implement that. That means you get to keep your guns. Nobody's taking your guns. Nobody's taking your concealed carry permit. But you need to prove that you have the mental faculties to be able to functionally assess a situation with a rational mindset and be able to handle your weapon responsibly, while also being accountable for any damage that weapon may cause, either when it's either in your hands or in the hands of somebody else who either broke into your house and stole it, one of your children got a hold of it and had a complete and total breakdown, your brother or sister comes into your house. There are so many different scenarios.
Yeah.
Insurance means that there is coverage and aid to those whose lives are uprooted or destroyed because of your weapon. There is a process to ensure that you are capable of handling the responsibility of owning a gun. Just because you can buy a gun doesn't mean you are responsible enough to own it. It doesn't mean that you are trained well enough to know how to use it.
Well, that too. It's like, you should have to take a course. You should be mandatory to take a course, and an updated course every 5 years. So that way you know gun safety, you know how to shoot a gun. You can't just walk into a store and buy one and be like, all right, you're good to go. You sound the piper. No, literally, and I live in Arizona where you can literally buy everything, right? Yeah. You can literally go to a gun show and you can pick up everything. Do I personally think that it will solve the issue? No. You know why? Yeah. Because just like drugs, there's always going to be somebody out there who's going to sell them. And it may not be legal, but they're going to go out and they're going to find it. If they are determined enough, they're going to go out and they are going to achieve their goal. That is the sick part of it, is that human beings are like that, unfortunately. If somebody wants to achieve a goal hard enough, they're going to accomplish it. Whether it's graduating college or going out and fucking buying up every fucking assault rifle in Texas and going out and shooting up a school. And as sad and as harsh as that is to say, it's fucked.
The truth.
It's fucked, because guess what? There are certain things that do happen. There is gun smuggling across the borders. And it's not just Mexico, it's also Canada as well. It's both sides. And it also goes both ways. How do you think guns get into Canada? How do you think guns get into Mexico? It's both the same way. It's not a one country or another's problem. It's about making sure that everybody is taking responsibility. Everybody is pointing fingers at everybody, right?
And I want to point out, when our country has more deaths by mass shooting than the entire rest of the world combined, we have a fucking problem. And that includes the Congo.
Yeah.
Like,
that's
included with the Middle East.
Yeah. Yep.
We have a problem.
Yeah.
It's an issue. And so to bring this all back to the original piece of the conversation, we have some extreme sides that need to chill the fuck out and start reaching across the aisle and figuring out how to do this, because this two-party system is bullshit. The Electoral College is bullshit. And I'm going to point this out because Trump didn't win the popular vote. If you went simply by the will of the people, which is the popular vote, that's the only fucking thing that should matter, because okay, let me explain something to people. The reason the Electoral College came about is because at the time, we didn't have internet.
Yeah.
We didn't have the mail system was slow as fuck. So you had people who were in local areas and jurisdictions who went and gathered together, and they were like, all right, so let me get these local mayors, report to the governor gives it to the senators and the House reps, get in a fucking buggy all the way across the country to get to their people, right? Here's what we have, here's what we thought. Okay, this is what this is going to be valued at. That's why the whole thing started.
Yeah.
Now, he's a much more streamlined system. Fuck the Electoral College, because honestly, he wouldn't have gotten elected if we'd have gone by the popular vote. Now, the response is, because Biden won the election, and trust me, I'm a Democrat, I'm still not impressed with this guy.
No.
But the fact that the first response and now the go-to key response is, well, somebody's cheating, because you can't fathom the concept that you lost. You are so incapable of accepting the fact that you are not what the people wanted. You're going to spend years spinning lies and bullshit about corruption that never happened. And now, in the face of all these investigations that are happening and the January 6th group, we're discovering that the fraud that did happen was by the very motherfuckers
that are pointing the finger,
claiming that everybody else is causing fraud.
Yep.
So,
well, we still got people here in Arizona that are on the corners, dude. Trump is still president. It's like, dude, I don't understand people's logic.
No.
I
never
don't
thought
get
I would miss Bush more than when Trump was in office.
Look, you know what? Look, I'm going to tell you this, right? I've met 2 presidents in my lifetime. I met Clinton and I met Bush. And
nice people.
I still to this day, have seen shit that nobody should ever see. I have been around the block too many times to count that things that I wish I could completely remove from my memory.
Yep.
And I will tell you this, that there are so many people out there that are so quick to believe everything on the fucking internet.
Yeah.
And jump on these conspiracy bandwagons and listen to... It's also another reason why you need to watch the new season of The Boys, because it hits home a lot right now. And they definitely imbued that into the season of what's going on in the world right now. Hardcore. You're going to see the underlying tones and the stuff that's happening that definitely you can see, like Seth Rogen put into the show. It's crazy. But right now, we're in a time where we need to fucking come together. And the sad part about it is that all these people that are in Congress and the Senate right now need to go. All of them. I'm serious. We need to wipe the slate clean. And what I mean by that is that we need a new generation of understanding new individuals that will be able to refine and redo our Constitution. Because our Constitution's fucked. It's all old base. It needs to be redone, rewritten, and it needs to be re-signed.
And let me... And I want to be real clear about why it's very important that we take a look at creating not only term limits, but creating age, like have term limits and age limits. Anybody who wants to try and say that Mitch McConnell, or even Nancy Pelosi for that sake, let's take one of each. Okay?
You want my Mitch McConnell impersonation? I got to do it.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's literally, dude. He's like Jabba the Hutt of a human.
Anybody who thinks either of them.
Sorry.
So I've named one of ours. I've named one of theirs. Whatever. If you think either of them are in touch with, I would say, with the current level of society, technology, engagement, if they're in touch with the future that we want, you're wrong.
Yeah, they're not.
You're wrong. They don't understand gaming culture. They don't understand the modernization of communications. Their entire framework is based off the fact they were born in the 40s, 50s.
They
60s,
grew up when people were still fucking slaves.
Okay? Literally, if you were born before segregation, congratulations. You've seen the world change, and yet you're trying to take it back. No, they're not making choices. We need people who are going to be able to see the effect and experience the effect 20 years later, because they're going to be alive. These people are the age that most people that age get their license revoked, and yet they're making decisions about the future of our country and the future that we're going to have to exist in after they've bit the dust. We need more people to be capable and able to be passionate about justice, passionate about the freedoms that so many of our citizens have lost their lives protecting. We need to take what is old, keep what's necessary and relevant, and revamp. Let's do something that's easy for everybody who's listening to a podcast and streamers to understand. DMCA was created in a different time. Different time when Napster was out there and all this other bullshit, right? That was at a time before streaming or the modern era of
The internet.
musical streaming and the internet was even a thing. We were in dial-up fucking modems and DSL.
Yeah.
So again, it is an outdated concept. It's an outdated doctrine. It's an outdated law that needs to be revised, revamped, and updated and brought into the modern times. The Second Amendment is the same way. Freedom of speech the same way. People who are, and it needs to be explained in a language that is not, how many hundreds of years ago. Let's modernize that shit so people understand your freedom of expression, freedom of that is so that the government can't stop you from talking. It hasn't got jack shit to do with private entities. I have freedom of expression. It's my right on Twitter. No, the fuck it's not. And also, freedom of expression does not come without freedom. It does not mean you are free from consequences. Your words have consequences. You're free to say them.
Look,
and then people are free to hold you accountable to that bullshit.
I'm going to put it.
They say cancel culture. Well, guess what? You said it. Sorry. There you go.
Here, I'm going to give you the best analogy ever, right? And this will hit all the gun owners out there too, right? You own a gun, but without the bullets, that gun is useless.
Yep.
And right now, our country as a whole has no foundation. It has no the judicial system is fucked right now. And it's biased. It's biased. It's very and I can personally speak on this because I've gone in front of a judge for like a speeding ticket. All of us have gone in front of a judge, have gone in front of somebody for something we've done wrong. If you haven't, then good on you. You're an awesome person.
Right. Congratulations.
You made it through life without fucking up once. But people like me, I've fucked up numerous times, and I've done dumb shit, and I've got speeding tickets, and I've got whatever. And I've gone in front of a judge, and that's the first thing you always said. Do I got a woman judge or do I got a male judge? And the women judge was always harsher than the man judge. And you know why? Because most of the time, the women judge had to go through a lot more and had to work harder and definitely is quicker to the punch than a male judge because they had to work their ass off to get there. And that's the fucked up reality of it. Women are not treated equally in this country. They are not, especially now, because literally what just happened, it took away all of a woman's right. They are literally being treated like slaves right now. It is a fucked up time, and you know what? A lot of people don't want to talk about it, whether you're pro-life or whatever the fucking things you've got in your head. And I don't even give a shit if you unfollow me, if you don't like this podcast about what I'm about to say. But honestly, I'm just going to say it flat out. It's fucking wrong. If somebody came to you and said you couldn't use your fucking dick, you can't have sex anymore, would you fucking lose your goddamn mind? Yes, you would. You would lose your fucking mind if you couldn't have sex ever again. Sorry, you can't have sex again. Well, would you not lose your fucking mind?
Well, and honestly, there are people, religiously inclined people, who are trying to put that into law to recriminalize what they consider sodomy.
Yep.
Gay sex.
Yep.
Anything that is not vaginal. I can't believe I just used the V word. Makes me feel uncomfortable.
Well.
But think about that. They're going to tell you, because of what they believe is in the scriptures, that there's only specific types of sex that you're allowed to have. We're going right back to that same issue. If that's the way you want to have sex,
great.
Congratulations. That's up to you, you simple bitch. But please don't tell me how the fuck I get to fuck.
But the problem is those people, those religious, white, old, privileged, fucking 80-year-olds are getting into Senate. They're getting into Congress. They're getting into our judicial system, and they're spreading those beliefs because they have a mass following through their religious beliefs.
Yep.
And they're getting into those spots because it's a fucking brainwashing, man. It is. Yep. It's a real, like, dude, I'm going to say this right now. I grew up in a household where religion was not really a thing. One of my best friends was Catholic. I started going to Catholic school with him, not like our Catholic church with him, because I wanted to just hang out with my friends because they weren't allowed to hang out on Sunday. So I would go with them and I would take the Jesus biscuit every fucking day. Even though I wasn't baptized, I still did it because they told me to go up there. I had no idea what it represented, had no idea. I started learning about the religion. I'm like, what in the fuck? You can literally do anything except murder somebody and be forgiven? This is fucking stupid. This makes no fucking sense. And look, I literally look, if you are Catholic, if you are Baptist, if you're a Muslim, if you are Mormon, it doesn't matter what your beliefs are, right? Good for you. Indulge in them. If they give you a place of clarity, if they help you succeed in life, if they make you a better person, great. I'm all for that. But do not push off your beliefs on other fucking people that do not want to hear it.
Yep.
If you're going around knocking on people's door, have you heard about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ? Like, look, you know what? That's fine. If you enjoy it, you want more people to come to church, because guess what? The church is a fucking business.
Yep.
It's a fucking business. Every church is a business. They have to get tithing. They have to get money to keep the doors open. They have water, electricity.
Tax those motherfuckers because they're making political donations. Yes, what, mother?
And they are going out there and spending money from the people that go to church on these shitbag old white fucking dude. It's just look.
It's a hot disaster, man.
Look, I'm just gonna say this right now. The world will always shift, right? It's like a wound. A wound will open up. It will be horrible. It will hurt. It will be painful. You'll bleed. But guess what? Like all wounds, you can sew that motherfucker up. It will heal. It will always leave a scar. But, and it will always be sensitive. It will always be, if you touch it, it hurts. But guess what? It seals up. We can move forward. You're not bleeding. You're still alive. And everybody in this country needs to wake the fuck up and go out and vote. Vote for younger, more experienced, educated, smart-willed individuals. Whether you're on Republican or Democrat, I don't even give a fuck anymore.
Regardless of party.
It does not matter if you're Republican or Democrat. Go out and vote for sane, good, new, young people. Don't vote in these fucking old ass people that literally look like they're 4 steps away from a tennis ball walker, and fucking put them in a goddamn fucking court and say, dude, I'm just saying,
Thank
man.
you for coming to our TED Talk.
Jesus Christ, dude. I'm just saying, like, we can talk about video games.
We went from going, we're not going to talk about this, to like half the show is
just the whole thing. I don't even give a fuck, because you know what? Look, at the end of the day, dude, if we don't talk about it, we are content creators, we're influencers, right? If people that are listening and tuning into this are on the fence, or they're like, I don't want to get involved, you are the fucking problem. You need to get involved. Everybody. I don't care if you're fucking 18 years old, fresh out of high school. Go fucking vote. It takes 5 fucking minutes, but please don't just go there and fill out the bubble test to try to get a 70%. Okay?
Yep.
Fucking do your research. Make sure.
I'm on one side.
Yeah, dude. I literally, like, you know how many times I've gone into a voting booth and I have no idea who half the people are? Because I've never even heard their name. They've never came to talk to me. They've never I've never heard anything about their campaigns. And I am fucking 20-something, and I go into a booth and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Guess what? We have a modern thing called technology. Yep. Pull it up on your fucking phone. Do your research. You can review the ballot before you even go in. Go do your research. Yes, it sucks. Nobody wants to fucking go and look at a bunch of fucking people and be like, oh, are they going to represent me the right way? Well, guess what? If you don't go out and vote, we get in situations like this where women are literally getting their freedoms taken away in our country. And as me and DJ have both said, we did not fight in this fucking country to have people's freedoms taken away. We fought in this country went over blood, sweat, and tears, staying away from our families, our loved ones, people that we cared about. The greatest person in my life passed away while I was in the service, and I didn't get to say bye. And I can never say goodbye to them ever again. And guess what? Also, I can come back here so women can we can be like, you know what? Your uterus is mine. No. Who gives a fuck what you fucking think or what you've got going through your goddamn mind? And yes, I am like getting heated now, but literally,
you have a daughter, like,
dude, my
this
daughter,
affects not only your wife but your daughter,
dude.
Like,
Dude, and this is the part that bothers me the worst, right? It's all the people that are fucking already old. They shoot baby powder out of their dicks at this point. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck about sex or fucking reproductive because they haven't gotten laid in 60 fucking years. Their dicks look like old shriveled fucking sea urchins hanging down to their fucking ankles. Nobody wants to see them fucking naked. And literally we got Mitch McConnell with fucking Jabba the Hutt jowls fucking every time he fucking talks. Look, I'm just gonna say this right now. I did not serve this fucking country so I can come back to it and have to worry about my daughter. Say she goes out, because when I was a kid, I went out and partied, right? Let's just say she goes out. She makes a mistake. She goes and has a good time. God forbid I'll kill that boy. But besides that point, or girl, or whatever, I don't even give a shit. But I'm just saying, at the end of the day, if she goes out and she gets pregnant, and say, God forbid, she has a miscarriage, not only do I have to, as a parent, find a state where that's okay to go to take care of that situation that is not only awkward for my daughter in the first place, but also she has complications. I lose my daughter as well because you want to save a fucking fetus that doesn't even have a fucking heartbeat. I'm sorry. It's fucked. It's fucked. And I don't give a fuck. If that's the case, then why don't you, government, the one white people that are up in Congress right now, why don't you put a law in effect then the second that somebody's born, they get child support from that douchebag father?
Yep.
Why don't they get money the second they're knocked up from the government for that 12 months that they're pregnant? It's because they don't want to give money. They want to control. They don't want to support. If you go into any other country that is of first world status, and what I say by that is like Australia, the UK, a lot of Europe, right? All healthcare is fucking free. They can walk in anywhere, get dental, they may be on a waiting list, but they can walk in and they pay $30 maybe for some medication, but it's fucking free. We are the only country that is in that status that does not offer free medical care. Yeah. And it's fucked. And I know I'm going on a rant about it, but it's fucking disgusting. And I'm just going to say this right now. This is going to be a very, very, very interesting set of comments probably after this is posted, but it needs to be said.
And we may lose some subscribers, and that's okay as long as we're being honest. And here's the thing. I want to make a very, very legitimate point here. It would be one thing if we were very one-sided, and the only thing that we've got that really matches the fact that we're both white and we're both we both served the military.
But the thing, they're coming for you next, dude.
But here's the thing. You've got a gay Democrat and a straight Republican on the same fucking page about a bunch of shit. It is possible. We are capable as a society of doing so. It means taking your ego out of the situation and asking yourself the honest question, is what I'm trying to force on other people negatively going to affect them? The answer is yes. And trust me, the fact they just cleared women's rights out is one thing. The next thing they're coming for is they're coming for us. They're coming for people like
gay
me.
rights. Yep.
And
LGBTQ plus is next on the chopping block.
And here's the final thought on this. Here's what's really funny. Until they start coming at us, those people are not on our minds. We don't give a fuck about them. They are irrelevant to the gay community until they start coming for our rights. What's sad is how much time those people spend thinking about us to get them to a point where they go through the process of establishing and getting legislation to try and stick it to the gays. We aren't doing anything to you. We don't give a fuck about you. Leave us the fuck alone. It's that simple. You're not important enough for me to correct your fashion faux pas.
Well, here's the worst part, DJ, is that what the Supreme Court doesn't realize they just fucking did, and they're going to probably do more damage, because these people were put in place for a reason. We all know what they were put there for. They were put there to literally upset our government, to make sure that they turn the fold to the white people. Look, I'm just going to say this right now, right? Not all white people are bad. And believe me, not all of us are supporting, and not all Republicans are supporting these fucking douche canoes that are in fucking Congress and fucking in the Senate and in the Supreme Court. And I'm going to tell you right now, okay? I'm going to tell you right now, me to you guys.
Yeah.
Women, everybody in the LGBTQ plus, straight, white, black, Asian descent, Hispanic descent, Spanish descent, everybody. It doesn't fucking matter. We are all affected by this now, because what they passed did not just attack people of the black community or the white community. It attacked all women. All women. And unfortunately, people of lower income households are going to be hurt the worst from this, because they can't afford what just happened.
Yeah.
If they have a baby, their life is on the line. It's like literally walking the Green Mile. You don't know what's at the fucking end.
Yep.
And it's fucked. And it's not just white or black or color or race or gay or straight. It is everybody. Everybody is affected by this. And they're going to start coming for all of our freedoms that everybody is so like, freedom all the time. You guys don't know what losing freedoms are until you've been overseas. Until you've been to a country where women don't have freedoms, where they don't have the choice.
Yep.
Where they have to cover their face and their bodies. And if they don't, they get shot. We are not that country, people.
Yeah, no. And I want to point this out, because while, again, I may not agree with some of the more extreme customs in certain religions, does not mean that I don't respect and stand up for their right to practice it.
Exactly.
That is part of why we are a free country, and we need to get back to that in order to. Wow, we went so far off topic today.
It doesn't matter.
We've got to wrap it up, because we've got one more to do.
Yeah,
so.
I know. Yeah, well,
so
thank
you for listening to us rant.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that went so long, but
it
we
needs to be
were
talked
discussing whether or not. Yeah, so we were discussing at the beginning whether or not we wanted to risk this, because we know it's kind of divisive. We know that some of you are going to agree with us, some of you are not. Some of you might agree with some of it, and others not.
Yeah.
What we're hoping here is that our conversation and perspective has at least enlightened you or established
open
your ability to have a
conversation.
better conversation about it and understand how and why these choices are bad, why these recent events are a problem. And if that's it, and I'm our intent is not to offend. Our intent is to simply conversate and create that opportunity for an open conversation that doesn't involve
hate, negative, or fucking toxic spew.
So, with that being said, we got to wrap it up.
Yeah, because we'll talk about this forever.
Yeah.
I just want to say one last thing before we go.
Yeah.
Super quick. If you guys are in the community, if you guys are listening to this podcast, whether you're on Amazon, whether you're on Anchor, whether you're on Spotify, doesn't matter where you guys are at. If you're on Apple, whatever, doesn't matter.
You can find us in all those places.
You can find us everywhere across the board, and it's at PardontheD or at our website at PardonTheDistraction.com. If for any of you need advice, if you need hotlines, if you need help, if there's anything that we can do, please, our comments are open, and if there's anything that we can do to help, we will. I mean, I've already talked about this with my wife. There are some things that are already happening in Arizona, that there are some websites that you can go to that you can actually file to get it on the bill, so that way people can vote for it to pass to help women's rights right now. We got over 5,000 protesters outside of our capital right now standing up for their beliefs. But if you do go out and protest, if you do go out there, just know that our hearts are with you. We got your back. We do support you. Just be safe. Be friendly. Do not enrage violence or toxicity in other communities. If you have a belief, if you believe in something strong enough, obviously, as I said before, you're going to follow through. You're going to do what you want to do no matter what. It doesn't matter your religion. I'm not bashing on religion. I'm not bashing on people as a whole. But we together need to make sure that we make a change.
Yeah.
So please go out there. Make sure that you guys are reading your ballots. Please go out there and vote for your governors and your Senate, because that's just as important as the president. Don't just vote for the president. Vote for your local, because those are the people that are going to fuel the White House. So please, going forward, make sure you guys look into that. And again, if you need any advice or if there's anything that we can help you, please comment below, and we'll be able to help out. Any negative or nasty comments or anybody attacking anybody, the comments will immediately be deleted and you will be banned from this channel. So I just want to make sure that that is clear. Everybody is allowed to voice their opinion as long as it's not hurtful. Okay?
Yeah.
So I'll leave it on that. And with that note, we're wrapping up this episode.
You can find us here every Monday at Pardon the Distraction. You can go to Pardon the Distraction on YouTube, of course, all those other services. Find us on anchor.fm. And if all else fails, just head on over to PardontheDistraction.com. I'm DJBluePDX.
And I'm the Lost Drake, and you can find us at our names everywhere.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll do that too.
We'll do that too.
Come by and say hi on Twitch.
Yeah.
There you go. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. We're good at this. We're professionals. Bye.
Peace, guys. Bye.
What you say to me, you little shit?
God.